Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kara and I am on a mission to find health. For me personally, that means improving my nutrition, getting more active in my lifestyle, and hopefully losing some weight along the way. Now, I have been trying to do these updates every 2 weeks. I missed one because life, and I have to say life has kind of come in again and interfered with things, and I don't have much of an update to provide to you at this point in terms of numbers and stats, but I did want to just sort of share what's been going on in the last couple of weeks, where I've had some wins and where I've had some losses. So in terms of healthier food choices, I have continued to do a lot of home cooking, a lot of freezer prepping, and I feel like I'm getting a good handle on that. I'm really enjoying the process, buying tons more vegetables. We're buying a lot more fresh food and prepping that and not being so reliant on pre-packaged, pre-made food. We're also not going out to restaurants nearly as much, so our bank account is very happy about that. It's funny how you kind of get like lulled into going to restaurants. For us, it became a bit of a habit, either going out to eat or ordering in. And we recently went out to, I think it was Eastside Mario's with both kids, and our bill came to about 70 some odd dollars. And that just like really set me back, because I can do about a week's worth of groceries for a little bit more than 70, but we can still get a heck of a lot more meals than one each out of that investment. So I don't mind going to restaurants every now and then, but that cost is just exorbitant and it's unnecessary. And I'm finding, honestly, not to toot my own horn too much, but I'm finding that a lot of the meals that I've been prepping at home, I actually prefer to meals that I can get at a restaurant. That could be either sort of pride of ownership, or it could be that I have more control over the seasonings and spices that go into food, and so I can customize it a bit more. Whatever the reason is, I'm just enjoying eating at home a lot more than I ever have in the past. So I'm really happy about that. And wherever I can, I've been trying to make healthier choices. So, for example, we recently did a picnic at the park, and I prepped all of our food in advance. We put it into a nice cooler, and we had nice, healthy snacks. In fact, I did take a video of it while we were at the park, so I'll go ahead and insert that here.
Hey guys, so it is picnic in the park day. I've got Aspen over here. And I just thought I'd share what we brought for our picnic, because in the past we normally bring Pringles, and then we order pizza, and that's usually what we do. But this time, you're gonna have to wait a second, buddy, okay? But this time I'll show you, and I probably should have shown you before we started unpacking and eating, but here we are. Oh, first of all, there's this little guy. He found the popcorn. Careful you don't spill it everywhere, okay, buddy?
Okay.
And then what else do we have in here? We've got beef jerky. These are those, I think I've shown these in a previous video, 5-grain flatbreads.
Berries and watermelon.
Can I see, buddy? Yep, so I brought watermelon and blackberries.
Two drinks.
Those are his favorite. We got some juice boxes for the kids. I've got Diet Coke, we've got water.
And we also have cheese drinks.
Oh,
We have
and then we've got
drinks.
celery and cucumber with some dill dip.
We have cheese drinks.
Cheese strings, thanks buddy. What else have we got in there?
Cookies.
We got some cookies. These are for you, buddy. These are hard-boiled eggs with the yolk taken out. And then with the other hard-boiled eggs that I had, I made up some egg salad for Barry and I to have on those flatbreads.
Ice cubes.
And then we've got ice. And I think that's, oh no, and then we've also got some Ritz crackers with peanut butter on them.
What is that?
So that is what we are snacking on here today, and that's going to be our lunch for the day. So now I've got to try to organize it all again and get this little guy eating something other than just popcorn. So we have a fork, that's right. Okay, bye for now.
So now I'm just going to jump really quickly and very briefly to the weight loss portion of my overall goals, and I'm just going to let you know straight out of the gate, I haven't weighed myself recently. I haven't done any measurements or anything of that sort, so unfortunately I don't have any stats to give to you, but there's a few things going on here and a few reasons why I just haven't been bothering doing that. One, I can still feel that my clothes are fitting a little bit tight, although some of them are starting to feel a bit better, and so I'm very happy about that. And two, I just don't feel the need to weigh myself right now. I'm coming up to that time of the month, and that always creates big fluctuations in my weight. And so where I'm at emotionally and mentally right now, I don't need to see an arbitrarily inflated number because I just don't need anything more in my life to obsess about. So I'm just taking a bit of a scale break. I will share stats again in the future, but for right now, it's just not a top priority for me. I'm more focused on the other elements, and the weight kind of takes care of itself. However, that then brings us to becoming a bit more active in my life, and I have been trying. As you know, I took up running again. I have a 5K race scheduled for July 9th. I was even getting excited to maybe try my hand at duathlon or aquathlon. I don't know how to say it, but basically it skips the bike because I don't have a bike. I'm not a confident bike rider at all, but you do like a run and then a swim and then another run, but it's all very manageable and like sprint distance, so it's not super like overwhelming. It's not an Ironman or anything of that sort. Anyways, there's one being held in the city that we live in August, so it would have given a lot of time to train for that. Except I have injured myself. So I am very frustrated and I am very disappointed because I was making awesome gains with the running. I was at the very end of week 5, meaning I only had 3 weeks left to complete my 5K training app, as well my Conqueror Challenge. I was 2.7 kilometers away from finishing that. And then I was injured. So what happened was I went for a run outside. I'm not entirely sure how I injured myself, but at some point towards the very end of that run, my hip started really aching. And by the time I got home, I was limping pretty heavily, and I limped for about 2 days after that. And then things started to feel a bit better. The limping was gone, the pain was gone. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna try a treadmill run in case anything goes wrong, then I don't have I'm not away from home and have to walk back. Unfortunately, as I was doing that run, I felt the ache a little bit in the hip, and then all of a sudden there was this very sharp, very fast, almost tearing-like sensation deep inside of my hip. That happened, I want to say about 5 days ago as of the time I'm filming this, and I am still limping today. So I suspect very strongly that I've torn a ligament in my hip. I don't like to diagnose myself via Google, but let's be honest, I'm a human and curious, and so of course I've Googled my symptoms. At first I thought it was an IT band issue because it was sort of painful along the outside of my thigh as well, but there was no knee pain or anything of that sort. And when I started reading about some of these ligament tears that can happen, labral tear, I think is what it's called, but don't quote me on that, I don't remember. But when I started reading those specific symptoms, they fit a lot more with what I've got going on right now in terms of the location of the pain, lying down on it, it's very sore. It feels like if you touch it, it feels like a really deep, really sensitive bruise. When I'm lying on it, it feels like there's a balled up sock or something underneath the sheet, and it's just this constant pressure on there. If I sit for too long, it hurts. If I try to cross my leg, my ankle over my knee, just that, whatever that twisting kind of motion is, it is just a sharp pain in there. So I haven't been running and I haven't been walking because that is painful as well. I mean, I've done the grocery store, and by the end of that, my leg felt like it was 30 pounds heavier than what it is. It just felt like dead weight, and it just ached so badly. So I do have a physio appointment starting on Monday. Today is Friday, so in a couple more days I will start physiotherapy. Never done physio before, so I'm not entirely sure what to expect from that process, but I'm very much hoping that they can give me some good exercises to work on to correct what's happening and to avoid it happening again in future. I don't know if I'm going to need any sort of diagnostic imaging or anything to really get a sense of what's going on in there, or if they can just listen to my symptoms and I don't know what else they do. I have no idea. I will find out on Monday, but fingers are crossed that it's not going to be an extensive recovery time. I kind of X'd out of the Google windows when it was talking about like 4 to 6 weeks or possibly more if you require surgery. And then I got scared and was like, nope, let's click out of that. So suffice it to say, my race is kind of up in the air at this point. Now, I was never trying to win the race. So as long as I am like medically safe to still participate, I could do it at a much slower pace. Like I could do it at a walk if I needed to. So I'm not crossing it out completely at this point. There's still another full month to go, but all that to say that my training towards the 5K and to being able to run the entire race have been put on hold at this point. Likewise, doing any sort of other more intense kind of event like a duathlon, or I don't know how to say it, the aquathlon. It's just a very strange word, but anyways, I'm not going to be training for that at this point. We'll see what the physio says. If swimming is highly recommended, then yeah, I'll do the swim and we'll see where that takes us. But getting in cardio at this point is just not happening, and I'm very frustrated by that, and I feel very almost like trapped or claustrophobic inside of my own body, because I was finally at that point where going out for the runs was like very exciting, and every day I was getting like so close to being able to do extended periods of running at a time. And so I'm just bummed. Like I'm pissed off, if I'm being perfectly honest. Like I am trying to improve my health, and then my body's like, wah, I don't want to be improved. I'm gonna break something. It's all very frustrating. So that's where I'm at right now. I don't have much to report, unfortunately, because I haven't really been able to do much at this point. So we shall see. I also have some shoulder pain going on, so I'm going to talk to the physio about that as well. If we can work on that, maybe I can just start incorporating some weight training and just building some overall strength and muscle. Perhaps that might be something that I can focus on, but I got to get the shoulder figured out as well. I honestly think it's just a repetitive strain injury from how I sleep. That's been going on for weeks, so I'm just very frustrated overall, and so I did not want to even take the risk that the scale hasn't moved or that it's gone up, or I just didn't want to see the numbers, because at this point it's really not relevant to anything else, and there's not much more I can do at this point in terms of the activity side of things. So that's where we're at. I'm sorry I don't have much more to say. What I can throw in, completely off topic, but did help me with the running and will help me again once I can get back into it, is a sports bra. And so I wanted to recommend it to you guys as well, especially to anybody who happens to be more well endowed on the top. I have gone down considerably since losing a bunch of weight, but I'm still sitting with double Ds. I was supposed to have a breast reduction in February. The COVID cases are out of control in our area, as with many areas, and so those kind of surgeries are being shunted because there's not enough medical staff at the hospitals, and it's a whole thing in and of itself. So regardless, haven't had the reduction or the excess skin removal surgery done yet, and have no idea when it's going to happen. So for the foreseeable future, I will be saddled with double D boobs, and finding sports bras that can contain them can be a challenge. A lot of people will say, like a lot of brands will say, this is maximum impact, girls aren't going to move, and then I wear it and my boobs are like, hold my beer. So the one I wanted to recommend to you is from a brand called Wacoal. I will put it up on the screen. I will also link it down below. I believe it's a UK-based company, but I bought mine obviously here in Canada. Didn't pay an exorbitant amount of shipping because they do offer free shipping over a certain amount, and I believe you can get them in the States as well. I'm also pretty sure you can find them on Amazon. I'm not sure about the price comparisons, but I'll leave that to you to decide. But at any rate, I will link it down below. It is called, I have it here, it's called the Simone Sport Underwire Bra. It's a little bit funny in that it looks almost like it's inside out because of the way that the underwire is, but you are locked into place. You are not going anywhere, but it's also not so restrictive and tight that you can't breathe properly. And because it has that underwire, you don't end up with like the dreaded uniboob sitting out in front and center. So I've been really enjoying that one. So again, I will link it down below in case anybody's in the market for that. And with all that said, that is my update for this week, such as it is. I'd love to hear from you in the comments what your updates are, what have been your highs in the last couple of weeks, what are your lows, what are your goals coming in for the next week, all that good stuff. Let me know down below. But for now, I am going to say goodbye and I will see you in my next video. And until then, always remember to tell yourself, yes, you can. Bye for now.